Hi, friends. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Clouds Edge to Edge Transformation. And speaking of transformation that involves personal transformation, it involves professional transformation. Sambit Sahu, I got to know when he was already a thought leader in power. And now he's doing very powerful things. Sambit, tell us how you became the Sambit that I know and everybody knows.
Thank you, Sankar. I have been in the semiconductor industry for 30 plus years. I'm still enjoying the semiconductor world. I have been in the company of some wonderful people in my life, some great technologies, great leaders, great managers, great colleagues, and some great teams. The fun just never ends. I'm looking forward to having this fun for the next 30 years or so. I went to do my master's in US after I did my bachelor's in India, and after master's, just like every other new college graduate those days, if you're in the hardware side, you go to Intel. That's the dream company. I joined Intel at a great time. I had the fortune of starting my career under such an illustrious leader like Andy Grove. A lot of the things that I learned and practiced, I feel that I learned from those early days in Intel, being result oriented, teamwork, only the paranoid survive, all these good things that have helped me in my life and career. After Intel, I moved to a startup, just wanted to get a feel for what happens in a startup and had some dreams of making some good money. I got a wealth of experience. 3 years at Rocket Networks. It was acquired by Cisco and had a chance to work with some amazing people on amazing technologies. We were building custom chips in a startup, 6 custom chips, very advanced technology node, high-end routers, and really great team. And then I moved to Sun and always had great respect for Sun. Sun has given the industry so many technologies and so many wonderful things. It was a very nice environment, a lot of good people. In 2005, I decided to move back to India, primarily for family reasons. But also, I saw the opportunity that India was just about to start on the semiconductor journey. I felt that it will be good for me and I can do something good for India, the Indian semiconductor agenda. So I moved back and I have been in leadership position in Intel, Qualcomm. I had a good time for the last 18 years, delivered around 75 products worth more than $100 billion in revenue. And I had a chance to work with some wonderful people. I feel proud that I have played a role in building up, in my own way, the semiconductor agenda of India and semiconductor talent base in it, which is quite significant and quite impactful these days.
What I find interesting is that you worked on processors, routers, switches, and now AI chips. How did you manage to do so many different things? So you've been all around the custom chips, semi-custom, and even mainstream chips. How did you make those transitions? Big companies, small companies.
The fundamentals are pretty same and it has not changed in the last 30 plus years. Having a good understanding of technology, good understanding of architecture, CAD, the fundamentals I would say are the same across chips. It's really different products, just different type of IPs, different types of integration. I kept focusing on the fundamentals so that I can deliver all these different type of chips and also spend a lot of time in reading, learning from others. I would say I took some risks also to propel the technology revolution. I'm very fortunate because I have been an integral part of pretty much all the major semiconductor revolutions in the last 30 years. Started with the PC revolution. I did some things for Pentium those days. Then was part of the router revolution, then part of the server revolution, then smartphone revolution. At one point of time, 90% of the smartphones in the world had a chip built by me and my team. And now I'm embarking on this AI revolution. AI, it appears to be a little different, and probably it is, while I'll still say the fundamentals are still the same, it will take us some time and some more effort to get our arms around it because it just pushes the technology in all directions, pushes the performance, the cost, the power, the thermal.
AI seems to have given one of the biggest boosts in recent times to the need for new technologies, new ways of handling data, memory, and all that. How much of this boost is hype versus how much is reality?
Yeah, I feel this AI revolution that is happening, it's at its infancy. It's not even a toddler yet, less than 1 year old baby, I would say. The next 30 years or so, AI will be the dominant technology. The market, they said that AI is going to enable a $14 trillion economy. What we are trying to achieve is to make machine intelligence close to a human brain. Today, the best AI computer is not even 1% of the intelligence of a human brain. There's a long way to go. We'll get there. Of course, we have to manage its growth. We have to manage the side effects of AI, which I'm pretty sure we'll do it. which is starting on AI. It's at its infancy. It's a long, long way to go. Compute will change a lot, and there will be a lot more systems play, much stronger hardware software interactions. We may land up with customized AI solutions for different type of applications. A large portion of the engineering community is really working hard day and night to build good AI systems. AI, as we all know, has such great applications. It's important that we join hands and we address this and we grow this in a responsible way.
Since the time you moved to India, the Indian economy is more and more now dependent on technology. It's a huge
Yeah.
percentage of the GDP of the country. With
Yeah.
all these changes that are happening very rapidly towards low code, no code, towards even prompt engineering, how do you think it'll affect India's large pool of software developers, and where do you see it going towards?
Currently, India is on a great trajectory. There is huge support from the government. We have a huge talent base. India has always been known for its software skills. Even in semiconductor, we have at least 30,000 engineers in India. Pretty much every multinational company have a significant presence in India in the semiconductor field. Also, in the last few years, Indian startups have really shot up. They're doing extremely well in many areas, in the B2B area, B2C areas. And now I see some startups getting into semiconductor area. So I feel we are in a great state in India with government, academics, industry, MNCs, talent, everything coming together. It will have a huge play in the AI space, in the semiconductor space, in the manufacturing space. Also, I feel it's necessary. India needs to be self-sufficient. India needs to have its own technologies and also be a little bit immune to geopolitics. So it's critical that India invest into it, which is doing right now.
Yeah, I see these huge investments. I understand the need for self reliance, strengthening of the supply chain.
What India is doing really well, while it's trying to be self-sufficient, it's also doing it in very strong collaboration with other countries. That's the key to success. Have your own identity, have your own agenda, but do it in a collaborative way with other countries and other nations.
Sambit, in your career, you seem to have alternated between large, amazing companies and small startups. You have had successes in each domain. Many of them led to some really interesting technologies. Which one did you enjoy the most? Which one stands out in all these years?
I've worked in Intel for 20 years, so consider Intel like my second home. And also, Intel played a huge role in my formative years. So I have a lot of gratitude toward Intel, and I had a great time there. But I enjoyed my startup experience in Rocket Networks quite a bit. It was all about getting things done, focusing on technology, working as one team, driving the urgency, learning some new stuff. I was able to bring a lot of that goodness that I learned in the startup to Intel and Qualcomm. It was very successful. I could deliver lots of chips at a very fast pace, driving a sense of urgency, putting a good team together.
You have worked in multiple cultures as well. Of course, Silicon Valley is literally a melting pot from people around the world. But shifting to India, it was a very different culture in those days and it keeps changing. What was it like, the transition from one international place to another?
Yeah, definitely there was a pretty big change for me and my family. But I have a knack of walking into a new environment pretty easily, kind of switching on and off. I switched off my time in US, though I had a great time in US, and I just started getting into the Indian mindset, Indian culture. That helped me. But definitely 2005, there was hardly any semiconductor here in India. So it was a lot of building up, spending the time in hiring smart college graduates, training them, coaching them, mentoring them, making them more complete engineers, not just focus on execution or delivery, but look at really how you innovate, how you collaborate, how you network, how you influence. I had to do a lot of those things. So India journey was definitely very different from US in many ways because you had to spend a lot of time in growing the team. It was fun. Today I'm so proud that there are 30,000 engineers in India who are doing really well in different companies, and the Indian semiconductor industry and the talent is being appreciated worldwide. I feel proud that I played a role in it.
From what I know, you've influenced the journeys of more than 1,000 engineers. At this point in your career, now that you've reached at least some summit, Sambit, what keeps you awake at night? What wakes you up in the mornings? Other than the time zone difference between India and the US, what excites you at this stage in your career?
I'm always excited. I'm always very motivated. I'm always a very happy person. I love problem solving. I love where we're heading in the world. There's a lot to do in India. I can be busy for the next 30 years, working on good problems, good products, working with good people. Yeah, that's what just keeps me going. I'm always very motivated state. And I really have had the privilege of working with some great people under some great leaders. I'm pretty confident it will continue that way. People in our industry are wonderful. And technology just keeps throwing problems at you. Probably the biggest problems that we have ever seen in our careers on all of us. We need to solve it.
You've always approached things in a positive way. What career advice do you have for people today? Because so much is changing so fast, whether it's in chip design or in software development or in AI, everything seems to be in a chaotic but creative phase.
The two things that have worked for me, one is always enjoy your work. You should always be a happy person. If you're happy, you will be very productive. You'll do wonders. You'll create wonders. And the second is just learn continuously. Keep reading things. Keep talking to other people. The third piece is networking. Really expand your network. We are living in a very complex world, doing lots of complex things. We can't do it ourselves. Collaboration is key. So enjoying what you do, continuous learning and networking. Those are the three things I do every day. It has worked for me.
I'm sure you've had bad days in your career when you saw companies fail. What was the worst moment of your career? Because you're always positive.
We are in a technology world with a very complex products. So many things have to work together. You're talking about 50 billion transistors all getting packed into a little package, and they have to be functionally correct, electrically correct, have to have high yield and low power and good thermals, and goes on and on. So there are chances it will go wrong, and it has gone wrong for me. The key thing is when things go wrong, understand it and try to fix it or do the damage control and learn from it and see what things you need to fix in your process, in your tools, in your architecture, so that it doesn't repeat. The message that I give to my team is quality is number one priority. We should not compromise on quality. But things will happen. Some bad things may happen. So it's about how do we fix it? How do we learn from it?
With the new set of problems that we've created for ourselves with chiplets, with heterogeneous architectures, RISC-V, with all the IoT devices and all the complexities and changes because of AI. How optimistic are you about the way we are designing chips? Again, all those problems that were there 20 years ago are appearing all over again, right?
That's a great question. The AI problem is pretty huge. It's really pushing the technology envelope, the execution envelope in every possible direction. There are probably hundreds of companies trying to solve the problem, and we should encourage that. We really have to try out different ways and different methods and see what works. In that way, we are in a good state right now. Different people are trying out different methods. Every day we are improving. That's the key thing. We have not solved it, but definitely we're improving every day. What we have today in terms of processing, AI systems, or computation was not the case 5 years back. So definitely we have come a long way. There's still a long way to go. New applications, new algorithms, new models will throw new challenges at us, and we'll have to be prepared for it. It's good that right now many of us are experimenting and being creative in different ways. So over time, it will settle down to few players who would be the leaders of the future.
I still remember more than 20 years ago, you were already working on challenges in power and how it's managed. Today, all these new products, whether it's IoTs or it's mobile devices and AI, are all very power hungry. Overall energy consumption, heat production is huge. Batteries are another major challenge if you want real electric vehicles. Do we really have solutions, or are we just pretending to be more sustainable?
Definitely, people are trying to solve this problem. Different companies were taking big goals of managing or reducing car CO2 emissions. Many research happening on how to do low power designs, low power architectures, how to create better cooling methods. Lots of good things are happening and will continue to happen. At the same time, the demand in compute, the AI demand needs 2x compute every 3 months. Demand is far outpacing the solutions we are able to provide. We'll be in this state for few years, and after that we will get to a more tranquil state where technology and management of the side effects go hand in hand, but it'll take few years. The good thing is that most companies are being responsible citizens. They're trying everything possible to reduce the environmental impact or reduce draining of natural resources. Many companies are being good citizens. It will take some time for us to get to a good state where the demand and some of the side effects are in a more balanced state. I know it's a very happy problem for engineers. There's no way to even proceed without good technology, good engineering. Oh, how I wish everybody in the world would be as happy as Sambit.
solving all kinds of complex problems. And to everybody out there, I'm always looking for different perspectives. There's so much going on. There are so many challenges, which means we are busy 24 by 7. And please keep up the good work and please come forward. We all need to understand where we are going as humanity. And that's why I'm looking for new ideas all the time. Sambit, it's always been a joy to see you blossom and support the journey of thousands. And thank you for all the work you're doing with a lot of happiness and humility combined.
Thank you, Shankar. Thank you for this opportunity to share my thoughts. There are great examples in our industry. You yourself are a great role model for the technology world, for the technology folks. We all learn from each other. I'm happy that I got this opportunity to share a few things about myself, what has worked for me, and what I'm looking forward to. And really appreciate this opportunity, Shankar.